Hi, I'm Tom. This is Lucy, and this is Kitty Help Desk. Okay, so the first question is always, what exactly is clicker training? It is based on the work of B.F. Skinner in the 1950s and a process he referred to as operant conditioning. And really, that's just a fancy term that just means that when the animal does something, they're conditioned to either get a reward or punishment. In our case, we're really only ever going to use rewards. That's called positive reinforcement. So we're going to reinforce the behavior that we want using a positive reinforcer. The primary reinforcer that works with cats is, as you might guess, treats. Right, Lucy? Would you like a treat? See, we're already one step ahead. So that's our primary reinforcer. But because we want to be precise in the training, we really will do better if we use a secondary reinforcer. And in our case, that's going to be a little noisemaker that we call a clicker. These clickers are available on the market. You can certainly buy them and use them. There are several different varieties. This one originally had a telescoping rod that came out that had a ball on the end that was very helpful in getting targeted behavior like batting at the ball. You certainly don't need that. In fact, you don't really need a store-bought clicker at all. You can use like an old Snapple bottle cap or anything that makes a sound. You can snap your fingers, you can cluck your tongue, you can do anything that makes a consistent sound as long as it's not a sound that the cat normally hears every day, that it's a special sound. I like the clickers because they're loud and percussive and they respond to them very rapidly once they equate them with the treats. And that's really all the clicker training is doing. We're waiting for them to perform the behavior that we want them to perform. When they do it, at that precise moment, we're gonna click and then immediately follow the click with the treat. And what will happen over time, as you do this more and more frequently, the cat will start to equate the clicking sound to the treat. So what we've done is we've created a process whereby we can be very precise with what behavior we reinforce, and we can be less precise with how we give them the treats.
Touch. Good girl.
We are definitely going to need some kind of treat to do this and something that they like, but something that's relatively low in calories and not super messy. So I like these Blue Wilderness cat treats, and Lucy is more than willing to perform for them. So here, honey. Once you have your treats picked out, some people like to use a treat pouch like this one. It got a belt clip and a little fanny pack thing. You can pop it open, it'll stay open, or it'll snap closed. The problem with these is when you're using them, cats are really smart and they observe everything that you're doing. They're always paying attention, aren't you? And when they're observing, they start to see, oh, every time I get a treat, right before that, they reached for the pouch. And you start reinforcing the behavior with the reach to the pouch instead of the click. So you have to be really careful not to telegraph those moves so that they don't pick up on it. And it's kind of difficult. So I really prefer to sort of palm 5 or 6 treats in my hand while I hold the clicker in that hand or the other hand and just drop them on the floor whenever I'm ready to treat her. Regardless of what you're training them to do, that first step is always the hardest thing because the cat's gonna need some trial and error time to sort of sort out what it is that you want.
Turn around.
If you have a plastic placemat like this, just put it on the floor and say the word mat. The process is one where they go over to it and they might sniff it. And at that point, the first time you want to click and treat them. Do that repeatedly that first session. That's all you want to train them to do is go over and check it out. Be curious about the mat. Then you want them to kind of put a paw on the mat, maybe one paw. Then you want to build it up to 2 paws. Then you want to build it up to them standing on the mat, and then eventually to them sitting on the mat or laying on the mat, depending on what you want to train them to do. And that is sort of what the process entails. You want to start with a behavior that's really simple for them to do, and then over time you build it up to a more and more specific behavior. The way we communicate it is through shaping the behavior. And we shape each behavior by when we choose to reinforce it. Lucy pretty much purrs the whole time we're doing clicker training, and we do it every day, and she just loves to do it.
Calm.
Okay, so let's just go through a few of these clicker training tips to get you started. First off, always use short cue words. You don't want to use long phrases or things that are going to confuse your cat. You want something very short and sweet, and you want to use words that they don't hear all day, every day. So try to use something unique. Secondly, break down the actions into smaller actions. If you want your cat to turn around on cue, use the phrase turn around. And if they first just turn aside just a little bit, that's enough. Just reinforce that for a while. You want to really build it up little by little. Third, keep the training sessions short. Cats have limited attention spans and they're easily distracted. So only train while they're still interested. Fourth, use hand signals when you can. Cats generally communicate better through body language than they do through vocalization. So they will certainly learn verbal cues, but you can help to reinforce those verbal cues by using a unique gesture with each command. And lastly, don't forget to have fun. This is meant to be a fun activity for both you and your cat, and it's a great opportunity for bonding, and it's just meant to be relaxing. Don't stress out. If you find yourself stressing out about the whole process, just take a break. You know, you want to communicate to your cat that this is fun, and you want them to want to do it. So the more fun you have, the more fun they'll have. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.